In the quiet hills of northern Georgia, just outside the city of Chattanooga, lies the Chickamauga. It's a battlefield, an area steeped in both history and legend. And during the American Civil War, this landscape witnessed one of the war's bloodiest battles, claiming over 34,000 casualties. But for those who visit today, the ghosts of its violent past seem to linger, and none more famously than the eerie figure known as Old Green Eyes. The legend of Old Green Eyes dates back to the immediate aftermath of the Battle of Chickamauga, fought September 18th through the 20th in 1863. Survivors of the brutal conflict reported sightings of a strange figure roaming the battlefield at nighttime. Descriptions varied, but the most consistent feature was the figure's glowing green eyes. They cut right through the darkness. It gave it a spectral and unnerving presence. Some accounts describe Old Green Eyes as a headless Confederate soldier, the victim of a cannonball strike, wandering the battlefield in search of his lost body. Other versions claim Old Green Eyes is not human at all, but a far older entity, possibly an ancient spirit tied to the land long before the Civil War. Regardless of its origin, Old Green Eyes became a fixture of local lore, a chilling reminder of the violence that once ravaged these grounds. Over the years, visitors, park rangers, and locals report seeing Old Green Eyes. Many describe a tall, shadowy figure moving silently through the thick mist that often blankets the battlefield at nighttime. But what stands out most are the glowing green eyes. They burn with an intensity that paralyzes those who encounter them. One early documented sighting occurred shortly after the battle, when a Confederate soldier claimed to have seen the ghost walking among the dead and wounded, and its eyes gleaming in the moonlight. Decades later, during World War II, soldiers stationed nearby also reported encounters with Old Green Eyes. Some swore that they saw it gliding across the battlefield, while others claimed that they felt a chilling presence accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread. These sightings have only added to the mystique of the Chickamauga, solidifying its reputation as one of the most haunted battlefields in all of America. The story of Old Green Eyes taps into both the tragedies surrounding the battle and humanity's need to explain trauma through supernatural means. The Battle of Chickamauga was the second deadliest battle of the Civil War, surpassed only by Gettysburg. The immense scale of death and suffering left a deep mark on the land, and for those who survived, the devastation was overwhelming. In the years that followed the war, the region became fertile ground for ghost stories, and the belief that battlefields are haunted by the souls of the fallen is not unique to this area. But the distinct feature of glowing green eyes sets Old Green Eyes apart. Some suggest the eyes symbolize the anger and sorrow of the dead, while others believe the legend might have roots in older myths. This national military park, established in 1890, preserves the site's historical significance on that battlefield today. Visitors stop by to honor the soldiers who fought and died there, but many also seek out this ghostly presence that haunts the fields at night. In addition to Old Green Eyes, other strange phenomenon have been reported here, from the echoes of phantom battle sounds, let that be cannon fire, musket shots, or even soldiers' cries, to sightings of spectral soldiers marching in formation. These eerie occurrences continue to keep the lore of Chickamauga alive, blending history with the supernatural in ways that intrigue both Civil War enthusiasts and paranormal seekers. The origins of all this, extremely widely debated. People have been trying to rationalize Old Green Eyes for a very long time, and it is believed to be a collective of the trauma of the entire war that this grew out of. Folklorists, though, point to the possibility that this may actually have roots in Appalachian ghost stories or Native American myths, which often feature spirits with glowing or otherworldly eyes. And those stories have been familiar to the soldiers, many who came from rural areas rich with this folklore. So while there's no solid evidence to explain Old Green Eyes, the legend still persists after so many years. The ghost of Old Green Eyes is more than just a spooky tale. It's a reflection of the grief, fear, and trauma that continue to haunt the Chickamauga Battlefield. As visitors walk these hollow grounds, they're not only stepping into history, but also into a place where legend and reality blur. Whether it be the tale of Old Green Eyes being fact or fiction, it stands tall as a haunting reminder of the battlefield's tragic past. These are Interesting Things with JC.